One of the biggest challenges of this election is fighting the spread of misinformation, and it hit us here at Channel 7. Viral video shows a man wheeling a wagon into the TCF Center. The woman recording this video insinuates there may be a ballot box in the wagon long after absentee ballots should have arrived. But that man is our very own photographer, Josh. He's wheeling in equipment to our crew there, not fraudulent ballots. 7 Action News reporter Jen Shans is live outside the TCF Center for us now. And are protests starting to grow, Jen?
That's right, Alicia, right behind me. This is the scene here now. It's been about 2 hours. A group of protesters, largely Trump supporters, outside the TCF Center, which, of course, Jim mentioned was the scene of heated protests last night. So far, from what I've heard, the central message here is that the election was stolen. We have not seen evidence of that. And we should also reiterate, no president has been declared in the United States. Michigan, going for Biden last night. Now moving on to that video that you mentioned, Alicia, even after we reported multiple times this morning that this wagon, in fact, was wheeling equipment to our crews inside the TCF Center last night. Still, several people, including many of our Channel 7 viewers on social media, still would not believe us. So we asked a local political communications expert why it feels like in 2020 the conspiracies just won't end. Our photographer Josh was just doing his job, bringing in equipment for our team at the TCF Center, where Detroit's absentee ballots were counted. It wasn't long until the video became part of a theory on this website.
I think all the polling places were closed.
And then again on a YouTube channel with millions of views that perhaps the wagon actually contained a fraudulent ballot box.
A lot of our social media are really designed to show us the things that we want to see. And so because of that, they create what Cass Sunstein has famously called filter bubbles, which is just an idea that the algorithms behind your Facebook or your Twitter show you the information of people who think like you.
Some big tech companies have made efforts recently to try and flag information that's without context or suspicious, but it hasn't stopped things like this from taking off.
Why is it that when you present someone with evidence to the contrary, some conspiracies just won't move?
So I think it's a combination of social media and kind of also larger trends in particularly political communication.
Assistant professor of political communication at Eastern Michigan, Jonathan Carter, says social media, where theories like this are often shared again and again, can make you feel informed without actually giving you verified information.
And so it becomes an avenue of competing claims instead of an avenue of truth.
The stress surrounding this election doesn't help. A president has yet to be officially declared, and there are legal battles brewing in several key battleground states, including here in Michigan, which was called for Joe Biden. Carter says there's a couple reasons why, right now, things feel more intense.
You've had some political candidates kind of priming messages that this is going to be corrupt or unfair, even though there's no evidence to that fact. And also, COVID has changed how we're voting.
Of course, they're referencing absentee ballots, which take longer to count. Now, we did reach out to that website where that video was posted. We are still waiting on a response. Carter says one thing you can do on an individual level to stop disinformation. He says that studies show people tend to trust their neighbor or someone they know personally as opposed to larger organizations. He says even the press. So he encourages people to have one-on-one conversations. We encourage you to do that also. Reporting live in Detroit, Jen Shantz, 7 Action News.